Alright, welcome back to Cobalt Black. Death Howl just launched on December 9th at 1999 from 11-bit Studios. It's a grid-based tactical deck builder with Souls-like difficulty, and after spending several hours with it, I can tell you exactly who this game is for and whether it's worth your money. Let's get it. First off, what is it? Death Howl is what happens when you cross Inscryption with Into the Breach and add Dark Souls' checkpoint system. You play as Ro, a grieving mother who enters Spirit Realm to bring her dead son back from the Veil. Core gameplay is grid-based tactical combat where you use cards instead of traditional moves. You've got 160 cards to work with across 5 different realms, totem system for deck enhancement, and every enemy you kill drops Death Howls. It's the game's currency, kind of like Souls and Dark Souls, for both crafting cards and leveling up your skill trees. Here's the Souls-like part. When you rest at a sacred grove, basically a bonfire, all enemies respawn. If you die carrying Death Howls, they drop on the battlefield grid where you died, and you have a limited number of turns to retrieve them before they vanish forever. Oh, and if an enemy picks them up first, they get stronger. What works really well? The tactical depth is fantastic. Every card has positioning requirements. Some need you close, others need distance. And your movement costs action points just like playing cards. You're constantly thinking 3 moves ahead like you're playing chess with a card game overlay. The meta progression is excellent. You craft new cards by combining Death Howls with artifacts you find, unlock region-specific passive buffs, and equip totems to modify your entire deck strategy. The game supports multiple viable archetypes. Visually, the pixel art is gorgeous in a grim atmospheric way. The limited color palette of washed out yellows, blues, and greens creates this haunting Scandinavian folklore vibe that absolutely nails the dark fantasy aesthetic. The soundtrack is minimalist but emotionally heavy, perfect for the tone. And the difficulty? Look, it's genuinely hard, but it's fair. You're not dying to BS, you're dying because you positioned poorly and built your deck wrong. That's satisfying when you figure it out. What doesn't work as well? The biggest issue is the pacing and the grind. This is not a roguelike. There is no quick restart button. If you want to try a new strategy, you're walking back through the same areas, fighting respawned enemies with potentially underpowered cards. Early game especially, you'll be running back to Sacred Groves constantly, fighting the same battles repeatedly. The learning curve is steep with almost no tutorialization. The game assumes you understand deck builders, tactical grid combat, and Souls-like mechanics. If any of those genres are new to you, expect to struggle in the first few hours. There's no tutorial explaining optimal strategies or what you should be prioritizing. Quest design is awkward. If you pick up a quest item, you can't fast travel until you complete the quest or drop the item. And dropped quest items return to their origin point. It's busy work that sometimes feels unnecessary. Regional card restrictions are punishing. If you use a card outside its home region, it costs extra mana, which can completely break your carefully crafted deck when you move to a new area. The game forces you to build multiple region-specific decks, which slows progression. But who is this for? This is a game for you if you love tactical deck builders like Inscryption or Griftlands, grid-based strategy like Into the Breach, Souls-like difficulty and checkpoint systems, dark fantasy atmospheric storytelling, deep meta progression systems, or methodical, slow-paced strategic gameplay. But you may want to skip this title if you want fast-paced action roguelikes, prefer quick runs with instant restarts, dislike heavy grinding for progression, need extensive tutorials and handholding, or want a forgiving difficulty curve. Death Howl is sitting at very positive reviews on Steam with 91% approval, and I can see why. When the tactical combat clicks and your deck synergies start working, it's genuinely satisfying. The atmosphere is incredible, the strategic depth is real, and there's easily 25 to 30 hours of content here. But it demands patience. The grinding, the lack of tutorialization, the slow pacing, these aren't bugs, these are intentional design choices that won't work for everyone. And at $19.99, I'd say this is worth it. If you're specifically looking for a challenging tactical deck builder and you're okay with slow progression, it's perfect. If you're on the fence, maybe wishlist and wait till it's around 15 bucks. For me personally, I'm gonna keep playing it. I absolutely love this game. The strategic depth and atmospheric storytelling have me hooked, despite the frustrations. Final verdict? It's extremely good at what it does, but what it does isn't for everyone. That's Death Howl. If you enjoyed the video and you made it this far, a like and a sub would be very much so appreciated. I'm trying to grow the channel right now and every little bit helps. Anyways guys, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out.